What's up? Here's something that is not taught in school, a little part of American history that happened in Mississippi. Let's sit back, watch. Please like, share, and comment. Thank you.
Punchbowl. So, the Devil's Punchbowl was a concentration camp. Following the end of the Civil War, there was a mass exodus of former slaves from the southern plantations. These men, women, and children migrated north in hopes of building new lives for themselves. The immigration of former slaves was deeply unacceptable for the former Union soldiers, who were bitterly disappointed about the outcome of the brutal war and decided to take revenge. The most brutal example of this was in Natchez in Mississippi. Now we know Mississippi has a terrible reputation for barbarism against melanated people. Natchez experienced an enormous influx in its population following the conclusion of the war, with the vast majority of the new inhabitants being former slaves. In response, the local people built an encampment at Devil's Punchbowl and rounded up all of the black people and forced them to enter.
Untouched fruit falls to the ground near the banks of the Mississippi River.
They talk about there's the most beautiful wild peach groves down in the Punchbowl.
And researcher Paula Westbrook says, like a peach, the area known as the Devil's Punchbowl has a pit, a mass grave from the 1860s. Historians estimate that in 1 year, up to 20,000 freed slaves died in contraband camps below these bluffs.
When the slaves were released from the plantations during the occupation, they overran Natchez, and the population went from about 10,000 to 120,000 overnight.
So they decided to build an encampment for them at Devil's Punchbowl, which they walled off and wouldn't let them out.
Don Estes is the former director of the Natchez City Cemetery.
I just put my own tombstone right there. You see Estes?
Learning history's been his life. He says Union troops ordered recaptured black men to perform hard labor.
Straight down right here.
While women and children were all but left to die in the 3 Punchbowl prisons.
Disease broke out among them, smallpox being the main one, and thousands died. They were begging to get out, turn me loose and I'll go home back to the plantation, anywhere but there. But they wouldn't let them out.
The Union Army did not allow them to remove the bodies from the camp. They just gave them shovels and said bury them where they drop.
And I'd really like to show you more of this terrain, but it's just too thick with greenery. These bluffs are also straight down, so not only is it dangerous to navigate, it's still very mysterious back there.
It's a bed of alligators and snakes. It would take Indiana Jones to get back in there at this point.
And then you come on up washing away bluffs, and at the Devil's Punchbowl that has so many people that no one knows how they got killed or when, and they're still down there wasted.
And even to this day, they talk about wild peach trees that come up down there, but no one in Natchez will eat them because they know what the fertilizer was.